Hey everybody, I'm Tom with TKI. Today we are going to do an instructional video on how to install our trolling motor remote plate on the back of an Altera Link trolling motor remote. You're going to need a small Phillips screwdriver. So you're going to need to remove the 4 screws on the back of the remote. So if you place it flat on the table, you can remove all 4 of these screws. You can also remove the factory lanyard. Alright, as you can see, we have a plate and we have some screws and some little spacers in the back or in the separate little packaging. So if you open up this packaging, and you can take out the plate, and you'll need to open this little baggie. And you will find 4 screws and 4 spacers. So we've taken the 4 screws out of the back of the plate. Now you want to make sure that the remote is located correctly. So the buttons always go away from you. So if you take the remote, lay it flat on the table. And now you can take your 4 spacers and go ahead and put your 4 spacers right back in where the heads of the screws went. Now you can take your plate, the logo goes down and the American flag is up. All of our products are 100% made in the USA. So if you lay the plate on it, and now you can insert the screws through the holes. I like to start all the screws before I tighten anything to make sure everything is aligned properly. Once you have all the screws started, now you can go ahead and tighten it. You don't want to over tighten this. Literally you want to go until you feel friction or the screw stops, and then just go like another 1/4 of a turn. Alright, our plate is now installed on our remote. Alright, now we can grab our harness and you can take the clips and literally snap them right into the 2 eyelets. So now when you install your harness, and now your remote hangs in the same spot. Now when you bend over, it doesn't swing on the side of the boat and you don't get a neck rash anymore, and the remote's always in the same spot. Alright, now we're going to install the plate onto a newer Terova and also Altera and Talon remote. As you can see from the shape, this one has got more of a rectangular battery opening. Our plate does allow to clear the battery opening, so you never have to take this plate off. As you can see, I've removed the 4 screws towards the back where the factory lanyard would attach. I like to set the remote flat on the table. You're going to receive a little bag of hardware with 4 screws and 4 spacers. We already have some removed here, so we're going to take the 4 spacers and put them into the counter bores where the factory screws came out. And then you're going to take your plate. We put the flag side up so our logo goes down towards the face of the remote. I like to set it on top of the spacers and then put your screws through the back of the plate, through the spacer into the remote. And then I like to start each screw before tightening it up. I want to make sure all of them are aligned properly before we tighten any or all of the screws. Alright, once you have them tightened, go ahead and tighten down the screws until you feel a tight friction against the plate. And again, I like to check the side of the plate or the remote to make sure the gap is the same and you don't have any openings or gaps for water to get in. And just like that, it's that easy. All right, now we're going to do the older style Terova and also the Altera remote. Again, this is the round battery port in the back of the remote, and we refer to this one as a 15 and 18 button remote. So if you look on the back, we already have a plate installed. You're going to need to remove the 4 screws with a Phillips screwdriver that surround the battery opening in the back. So just use yourself a Phillips screwdriver, remove those 4, and then you'll receive a little pack of hardware with 4 screws and 4 spacers. You'll place the remote down, put the 4 spacers into the pockets where the heads of the screws